Welcome to Learn English at Home community, where we learn through story slow, clear, and fun. Today, we're diving into the tale of the Queen of the Skies, the Boeing 747. You might wonder, why focus on a plane? Well, this isn't just any aircraft. The 747 changed how the world travels. Its story is packed with ambition, innovation, and a little nostalgia. As you listen, picture yourself stepping onto this giant, feeling the excitement of a journey that made the world smaller for millions. So, why is the 747 leaving passenger travel behind? Where did it go? Let's unravel the fascinating journey of this iconic jumbo jet together. Now, you might be thinking, wasn't the 747 just another big airplane? Let me tell you, a single look at its unique hump and 4 powerful engines set it apart from the rest. Today, we're exploring its rise, its impact, and its gradual farewell from the passenger skies. Ready to level up your English and your curiosity? Let's get started. Imagine seeing that enormous plane for the first time, with a tail as high as a 6-story building and wings stretching wider than a football field. It could carry more than 450 passengers, unheard of back then. The 747 wasn't just big, it was revolutionary. We'll explore not just its size, but the way it transformed both travel and technology. Think of terms like widebody and payload. I'll break them down as we go. Buckle up. This is the story of the Boeing 747. So, what made the 747 so special? Let's start at the beginning, when one bold idea changed the course of aviation history. Before the 747, flying was mostly for the wealthy. Enter Pan Amta airline with big dreams. Its head, Juan Trippe, saw booming demand and asked Boeing for an airplane twice as big as the 707. Twice as big. That's like asking a car company for a family van the size of a bus. This is where 2 technical terms come in. Capacity, how many people or things a plane can carry, and double-decker, 2 full floors, like a moving skyscraper. Now, you might say, why not just stack another floor on top? They tried, but evacuating 500 people from 2 full decks in an emergency? That's a logistical nightmare. Instead, Boeing and Pan Am made a famous handshake deal. If you build it, I'll buy it. That bold promise launched the race to create the world's biggest passenger jet. Let me tell you, a full double-decker design sounded great in theory, but safety and practicality forced a rethink. The solution? Make the plane much wider instead, creating space for 2 ILESA world first. These jumbo visions set the stage for radical new engineering. But how do you turn a dream into a flying giant? That's where our next chapter begins. Building the 747 wasn't just about making a bigger plane, it was about rewriting the rules. The team faced 2 massive challenges: weight and power. Wide-body design meant the fuselage was 20 feet across, like putting a city bus inside an airplane. But how do you lift all that? Enter the turbofan engine. Think of it as a jet engine with a giant fan in front, mixing power and efficiency. These new engines produced more thrust-meaning force to move forward than anything before. Without them, the 747 couldn't get off the ground, literally. But the risks weren't just technical. Boeing bet the entire company a term called corporate gamble on this one project. Billions of dollars were on the line. Every day, managers negotiated with banks and creditors just to keep the dream alive. If you're thinking, was it really that hard? Imagine inventing a machine so big you need to build the world's largest building, the Everett factory, just to assemble it. That's commitment. With new technology and a relentless team, The impossible became possible. Next, let's see how this flying marvel made its historic debut. The big day arrived in 1970. Pan Am's first 747 flight from New York to London. Crowds gathered at the airport, media buzzed, and history was made. Why all the excitement? Well, imagine boarding a plane with 2 aisles dual aisle in airline lingo, making it feel more like a train carriage than a cramped tube. Upstairs, a spiral staircase led to luxurious lounges. For a while, one airline even had a piano bar. It was the golden age of air travel. First-class passengers sipped champagne as the world whizzed by below. Did people like it? Absolutely. Passengers marveled at the space, while flight attendants, now a crew of 14, navigated 5 separate cabin sections. The scale was mind-blowing. Pilots, too, fell in love. Despite its size, they described the 747 as surprisingly graceful, even calling it the best landing aircraft they'd ever flown. The new avionics the plane's electronic system helped make it safe and reliable. With its first flights, the 747 became a symbol of progress, but its impact didn't end there. Next up, how the 747 opened the world to everyone. Before the 747, international flights were a luxury. Suddenly, with its high capacity, over 450 seats, airlines could lower ticket prices. More families, students, and workers could fly overseas. The world felt smaller. You might ask, why did prices drop? It's simple economics. More seats meant airlines could spread costs over more passengers. That's called economies of scale. The 747 made international travel affordable, not just for the elite. The 747 wasn't just a people mover. Its freighter version, the cargo model, was a game changer for global trade. The nose could swing open to load massive items, from cars to animals. Airlines worldwide bought the 747. If you saw one at your airport, you knew you were in a major city. United, British Airways, Lufthansa, and more, everyone wanted a jumbo jet. The 747's influence was everywhere, but as time passed, both technology and travel habits began to change. What does it take for a legend to stay relevant? Let's find out. The classic 747 wasn't frozen in time. Boeing released new versions like the 747-400 with upgraded aerodynamics, the science of how air moves around the plane, and fuel efficiency, meaning less fuel for longer flights. Why all the upgrades? Airlines needed to cut costs and fly farther. The 747-400 could cross oceans without stopping. Its cockpit got a digital makeover glass cockpit technology, replaced old dials with computer screens, making flying safer and simpler. Special versions took on unique jobs. The U.S. President's Air Force One, a 747. NASA even used one to carry the space shuttle on its back. Imagine piggybacking a spaceship across America. Now, you might be thinking, if the 747 kept improving, why is it fading away? The answer lies in the economics of modern air travel and the rise of new jet technology. Let's explore how changing times and new planes started to edge out the queen of the skies. In 1978, U.S. airline rules changed, sparking fierce competition. Airlines had a mission: save fuel, cut costs. Enter the twin-engine widebody, think Boeing 787 and Airbus A350. With only 2 engines, these planes burned much less fuel than the 747's 4. Why does engine count matter? Fewer engines mean lower maintenance and fuel bills, a huge advantage. Plus, new engines were more reliable than ever, thanks to advanced turbine technology. Travelers also changed. People wanted direct flights, not long layovers at giant hubs. The point-to-point system replaced the old hub and spoke model. Airlines needed flexibility and efficiency, not just size. The 747, with its classic four-engine design, started to look like a dinosaur in a world of sleek, modern jets. As airlines ordered fewer 747s, Boeing faced a crossroads. Would the Queen of the Skies survive? Let's see how the story unfolded. By the 2000s, the writing was on the wall. Airlines crunched the numbers. 4 engines meant higher fuel costs, eating into profits. New jets could fly just as far, with fewer seats but much better economics. Boeing and Airbus responded with next-gen planes. The Dreamliner, 787, and the A350 used composite materials, strong, lightweight parts to save even more fuel. Airlines flocked to these models for their efficiency. You might wonder, did anyone still want the 747? Cargo companies did. The 747's size made it perfect for heavy goods. But for passengers, the last new 747 was delivered in 2017. In 2020, Boeing announced the end of 747 production. The last Plania freight rolled off the line in 2023. It was a bittersweet moment for aviation fans worldwide. So, is this really the end, or does the 747 live on in new ways? Let's take a look at its legacy. Today, the 747 has a second life as a global workhorse. Most passenger 747s are retired, but hundreds still soar as freighters, moving everything from cars to smartphones. The plane's payload, how much it can carry, is unmatched for oversized cargo. If you're lucky, you might spot a 747 still flying. Passengers fewer than 50 remain in service, mostly in Asia and Europe. For aviation fans, catching a ride on one is a bucket list dream. Some 747s became museums, hotels, even water park attractions. The first ever built is on display in Seattle. These static displays keep the spirit of the Queen of the Skies alive. Pilots and passengers alike feel a special connection to the 747. Its humpback silhouette and upper deck evoke nostalgia and pride, a true symbol of human achievement. So, what does the 747 teach us? Let's reflect on its legacy and the lessons it leaves for future generations. The 747 isn't just an airplane, it's a case study in dreaming big and taking risks. Boeing's all-in gamble paid off, proving that daring ideas can change the world. The Incredibles, the team who built it, showed what's possible with vision and teamwork. The 747 democratized global travel, shrank distances, and inspired generations of engineers and travelers. Its story is a reminder: bold innovation can create lasting impact, even as technology moves on. Now, you might be asking, will another plane ever capture our imagination like the 747? Maybe, maybe not. But its legacy is in every affordable ticket, every direct international flight, every cargo shipment crossing oceans. Next time you see a plane overhead, think of the people behind the technology, their courage, their creativity. The 747's journey is a lesson in human potential. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. Keep your eyes on the skies, your mind open to new ideas, and remember, even the biggest legends started as a dream.